right, Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Mashakum Lakim Shai. That is to say, Yahweh, being named the Heavenly Father, who the world will call God, and Yahweh Shai, being named his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. It's your brother Kesadi from WFI JERSEY, Philly.
Yazoo, Brother Tazmak.
Khan, and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Shai, are we going into the mindset that we must have in these last days, right? Departing from Babylon, transitioning out of Babylon and entering into the land of Israel, most high willing, right? The mindset of a slave into the mindset of a king, and how we must conduct ourselves and be in order in the things we must aspire to be as, because we know that the time is approaching where the Lord is going to set up the elect to rule over the earth. We got to know at the end of the day that the Most High God doesn't want us to stay in the same mindset, right? Being slothful, being niggas, right? Moving with a down spirit. And the Lord wants us to strive for the mastery. And the only way we can do that is by applying these precepts. And most high willing, these precepts resonate with our spirit is going to allow us to change into that king that the Lord is looking for, right? So we're going to kick it off with Wisdom of Solomon real quick. I'm going to kick it off with Wisdom of Solomon, right? Just to lay the groundwork. Come on, I'll praise one side. Wisdom of Solomon, you can start at chapter 6, verse 1.
This book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 1.
Right?
Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn ye that be judges of the ends of the earth.
What the Lord say?
Learn ye that be judges at the end of the earth.
So the Lord said, hear therefore, O ye kings. The Lord is speaking to kings. He's not speaking to just a nigga. He's not speaking to niggas. We're in the scripture that say, oh, niggas, come here to work. No, the Lord's talking to kings. And we got to move and conduct ourselves in that same mindset. The Lord said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Can you get that real quick? In Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 7. One of my favorite precepts, because it lets you know that the thoughts that you have, that's what you're going to become. Before you, I'll get this precept, then I'm going to add on to it.
Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 7.
Right.
For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he.
What the Lord say?
For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Right. A lot of times, like I was going to go into, in the world, they say you gotta manifest things. Right. We're not saying that's necessarily in the scripture as far as manifesting, because you don't control your life at the end of the day. The Lord has things predestined and set up from the foundation. All we can do is, right, try to work and strive to be that way. Right. So the Lord says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you have in your mind, look, I'm a servant of Yahweh Shem Shah. Therefore, you got to do the things that a servant would do. You have to be diligent. You might be battling and going through things, but you got to push by that. Because the Most High commands certain things out of his servants. They're known as stewards in the Bible. Stewards aren't just, they're not moving slothfully and being niggas. They're not just doing their own thing. They have to do the will of whatever master is over them. And we have a master. And our master is Yahweh Shai. And Yahweh Shai commands us to be a certain way. He commands us to seek after wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Right? So in our mind, we got to shape our mind and be in that same way. We got to be brainwashed. Yeah, we said it. You have to be brainwashed. And that's not a wicked thing. That's a righteous thing. Meaning you have to wash your brain in the word, in the wisdom and understanding of the Most High. Read it again, King.
Come. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee.
But his what?
But his heart is not with thee.
So brothers got to remember that we want to have our mind with the Lord. The Lord commands certain things out of us. Again, how does a king walk? Is a king just waking up when he wants to wake up? And no, when you read how Solomon conducted his life, he was diligent. He was on fire. Right? Yahweh Shai, he's a king, right? He's the king of all the earth. How was he? He rose up early in the morning, it says. And we work different things, we work different jobs, we have different things going on, but we have to push by that, because how kings conduct themselves aren't the ways that we was once conducting ourselves. We wasn't moving like kings. We wasn't taught that way. We was taught to be niggas. Can you go back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 1?
Wisdom of Solomon 6 verse 1.
Right.
Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn ye that be judges of the ends of the earth.
What the Lord say?
Learn ye that be judges of the ends of the earth.
So again, a judge, we're going to go into it, right? I'm just, like I said, laying the groundwork. But judges, they have to bring forth righteous judgment. You must also know righteous judgment. Meaning you must know you must know the law. to execute the law. Right? There's a precept in Deuteronomy which shows that I believe it's in Deuteronomy, but the Lord had the kings etch out. They were supposed to etch out and make a copy of the law. Right? That happened. I believe it's actually in Chronicles, not in Deuteronomy. But the point is that they needed to know the law to be able to execute the law, to be a judge. So as a king, us transitioning from that slave nigga mindset, we gotta also know the law so we can execute proper judgment in the earth. Let's read on, King.
Give ear, ye that rule the people.
Right. So the Lord said you gotta give ear. You may have someone above you at this present time. Hey, you knowing how to be a servant will allow you to be a leader in that time. Right? That's what the Lord said in my favorite precept in Mark the 10th chapter. Let's hold this, King. Go to Mark real quick, chapter 10. Right? Mark chapter 10. I'm gonna finish this out and I'm gonna pass it in a second. Mark 10, start at 40.
Mark 10 and verse 40. But to sit on my right hand and on my left hand is not mine to give, but should be given to them for whom it is prepared.
Right. So the Lord is saying, who's going to be in a position of the kingdom? That's not of Yahweh Shai to do, but that's of the Most High to do. Right? Read on, King.
And when the 10 heard it, they began to be much displeased with James and John.
Right.
But Yahweh Shai called them to him and said unto them, ye know that they which are accounted to rule over the Gentiles exercise lordship over them,
right? And
their great ones exercise authority upon them.
And we see that in the world. Those that have a position of power, they show their power. They're ruling over their servants with rigor, so on and so forth. Hey, but that's not how the Lord wants us to be. He's going to tell you why. Let's read on.
But so shall not be among you.
But the Lord say,
but so shall not be among you.
Read on.
But whosoever will be great among you shall be your minister.
Those that's going to be great in the kingdom, they must be ministers right now. Meaning they have to lay down their bodies, their lives, their time, right? It may be times where, for brothers that do have wives, you're going to have to, hey, you're not going to be able to deal with your wife at that time. You got to tell her, look, I got to do something else. Right? I got to do the work. I got to make a video. I got to go out and teach. Right? I barely seen my wife the past 2 days. I barely seen her yesterday. Right? I'm barely going to see her today. See her a little bit, then I got to go right to work tomorrow. Then, I work all day. I might come home to a council. Then the following day, same thing. But that's what we do. We got to sacrifice our time to be a minister to Israel. So read that part again, King, verse 43.
But it shall not be among you, but whosoever will be great among you shall be your minister.
Right, read on.
And whosoever of you will be the chiefest.
The Lord said, whoever's going to be the chiefest, meaning the 144K, even these 12. These 12 outworked anybody else ever in the scriptures. Other than Yahweh Shai, of course. Why? Because the Lord said they're going to be the 12. They're going to be judging the 12 tribes of Israel. They're going to sit upon those 12 thrones. And, yeah. I mean, yeah. Let's read on.
Yeah.
Hey, you see that though?
Yeah.
Right. Even Apostle Paul, he outworked a lot of men, but guess what? And he was a servant, right? Going without a lot of times. But at the end of the day, he's going to be above the natural man that's not doing such. He's going to be above these leaders that's out here right now, these kings, Putin, so on and so forth. Why? Because you put the time in now for Yahweh Shai, the Most High is going to reward you. Let's read on, King.
And whosoever of you will be chiefest shall be servant of all.
Read on.
For even the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister.
But to what?
But to minister.
Right, read on.
And to give his life a ransom for many.
So we got to remember that. You got to give your life a ransom for many. You can't look at this truth as, okay, I'm in this thing and, if I'm a part of the kingdom, then all praises. But if not, it is what it is. That's a bad spirit to have. Right. That nonchalant spirit. Right? You got to put forth your hand to the plow. You can't be just dibbling and dabbling. You only going to get what you put in. So you want to put into more. Let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon 6 and verse 2 when we can finish that up.
Wisdom of Solomon 6 and verse 2. Give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations. For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest.
Right.
Who shall try your works?
Who shall do what?
Who shall try your works?
Right, read on.
And search out your counsel.
So we got to keep this in mind that the Lord is going to search out all our works and try our hearts. Right? He's looking at everything you do. Everything is weighed in the balance. right? Everything's waiting to balance. It's not for you to beat yourself up over. You're like, damn, you know what? It is. I guess I'm just not going to make it. Oh well, might as well go back in the world now. No, it's for us being men, where we have to deal with that. Sometimes that harsh rebuke, so we can get our minds right. Like, you know what? You're right. I'm going off. I need to be doing better. I need to transition my mind from being a nigga and a slave in this world to preparing myself to be a kingdom, to be a judge, to be a ruler. And there's a certain order that's required from those men. My brothers got it.
Yeah, Khan. Can you go to Yaz, you read for me?
Yeah, I'll read.
Khan. Can you go to Wisdom of Solomon 1:1? So again, this lesson, you know, it's to show Israel and exhort Israel to get in a king-like mindset. Why? Because we're going to be the rulers of the earth, like it says here. Go ahead, Ken.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Right.
Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth.
Ye that be what?
Ye that be judges of the earth.
Who are the brothers striving to be?
Ye that be judges of the earth.
Hey, when you read the scripture, it's already prepared rulership for our people, man. The men that put away their lives right now and come back to the Lord and repent and serve Him throughout these days, man. Hey, rulership is prepared for you, man. It's already written. So you have to have that mindset to go away from the mind that you was walking in before, man. The mind of a damn Babylonian, an American, doing whatever the hell you wanted to do, thinking whatever the hell you wanted to think, you know, damn exercising all the matters that were ungodly, man. You gotta come out that mindset, man. Right now, we gotta prepare ourselves for rulership, man. Because we all know we're in the end of the world, man. And at the end of this world, after that comes what? A rulership, man. Like it says in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, in verse 9. So keep reading, King.
Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek Him.
And the Lord said, in simplicity of heart seek Him. Why? Because rulers, they're always going to, righteous rulers, let me say that, they're always going to seek after the Most High. Why? Because the Most High will be the one that sets them up, man. And the Lord, He set us up to be rulers. So right now, we got to always have the mind to come back to the Lord, man. And the brother was going into it, man. Hey, you got to have that mindset to receive correction. You got that mindset to rebuke one another, man. To receive rebuke, to act on rebuke, man. Not to say it is what it is. Like the brother said, you're a nonchalant brother. Well, yeah, it doesn't really matter. You're too cool, man. You know, you got your hands in your pocket. You know, man, it is what it is. That's not a king, man. The king had discipline. Keep reading. He's going to say that.
For he will be found of them that tempt him not, and sheweth himself unto such as do not distrust him. For forward thoughts separate from God.
For what?
For forward thoughts separate from God.
We got to escape all forward thoughts, man. We have to have our mindset on being a king for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. Not forward thoughts on what you want to do, man. Hey, a righteous king, they're going to think about what the Most High wants them to do, not what they want to do. When you read the scriptures, all the kings that want to do what they want to do, they were unrighteous kings, man. And all of them got overthrown, man. And that could be you in this truth, man. You could be a king right now in a king-like mind state. Man, you're getting on all the heathen. You're telling them that they're below you, and you're acting like a nigga at home, man. Right. You're acting like a fool at home, man. Doing whatever the hell you want to do, man. Like the brother said, you're waking up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, man, with damn potato chips on your damn shirt, man. Talking about I wonder what I'm gonna do today, man. I wonder what I'm gonna get into. He's going about your day. You can't be like that when you're striving to be a king, man. You have to have some sort of order, some sort of discipline, and just strive to fit yourself within that discipline. You gotta get on yourself. Go ahead, Ken.
For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, and nor dwell in the body that is subject to sin.
Read.
For the Holy Spirit of discipline.
For the what?
For the Holy Spirit of discipline.
What do we want to have?
For the Holy Spirit of discipline.
And this Holy Spirit is a form of discipline, man. When you have the Spirit, you're going to be disciplined. You're not going to be just doing whatever the hell you want to do. You know, a damn, what you would call it? Your friend comes over and says, "Yo, man, you want to smoke? I got this weed." Oh, yeah. You're here. I might as well get into it. But you got to be disciplined and tell that brother, "Hey, you got to get the hell up off my porch, man." You gotta be disciplined not to eat damn pork, man. You gotta be disciplined to keep the Shabbat. and not to go freak off and do what you want to do. You got to be disciplined to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. The Lord said, read that one more time, King.
For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit.
And when you come into this truth, the Lord gives you a form of discipline, which is the Spirit, man. But the Lord says through deceit, it will flee away, man. And you'll go back to how you was in the world. Because in the world, you had no discipline. You was waking up, doing whatever the hell you wanted to do.
Right.
You was going off to do that. Maybe I'll smoke at 1 o'clock instead of 2 o'clock today, man. Yeah, maybe I'll go over here and party then until 3 a.m. this weekend. You didn't have any discipline. But now as kings, or the man that the Lord's putting his spirit in to become kings in the last days, you have to have that spirit of discipline. But the Lord says it flees from deceit. Go ahead, King.
And remove from thoughts that are without understanding.
And remove from thoughts that are without understanding. Meaning a thought of a damn nigga, man. Of a man in this world. And that's what we gotta flee. That's what we gotta flee away from, man. That's that old man. Before this truth, you had, like I said, you had no discipline. You had these thoughts of doing whatever the hell you wanted to do. But now, as kings, as rulers underneath Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, we got the thought of what the Lord wants us to do, man.
Right.
And when you have those thoughts, and when you think about it, and when you ponder upon it, you know the Lord wants us to be in a form of discipline, to escape unrighteousness, man, to do the works of the law, not to do the works of the flesh. Go to 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 2. And this is what like I said, is written, man. It's written on how we're supposed to operate and what's going to be required of us in these last days. If you don't have that in your mind and then execute it through your actions, you're going to be, not that it sucks to say, but the honest truth, the cold hard truth, if you're a man watching this, you're going to be ruled out of this thing, man. The Lord has no reason, has no use for niggas, man. Just being completely honest. Men that just wake up and do what they want to do, man. He has no use for that, man. You have to have a form of discipline, man. You can read this, King.
John, this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 2. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
What did the Lord say?
Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
So we have to know that we're going to judge the world. We're going to be rulers of the world, man. You can't be a judge and you have a hearing at 10 a.m. and you're rolling out your bed at 2 p.m. No, you can't do that. That judge will be fired, man. In today's earth, man. If that judge came up drunk, man, he's damn tumbling around saying, yeah, man, it was a wild night last night, man. I don't know what happened. That judge will be fired, man. You gotta think about these type of things. You know how crazy you sound when you if you get that same excuse to the Lord. Well, Lord, man, I had to get that little drink in, man. Man, I know camp was at 2 p.m. But man, it was a wild night. It was a wild night last night, man.
Right. And
now you're showing up at 5:30, man. That's a terrible excuse, man. And a judge should not be operating on that type of level, man. You gotta have discipline to yourself. You gotta get on yourself. Like we always have to say, it's you versus you at the end of the day. And we have to change to be the judges of the ends of the earth, like it says in this verse. Keep reading, Ken.
Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matter?
And we gotta be worthy to judge the smallest matters. Paul said that these men that they're not unworthy, man. He was asking them, are you unworthy to do that? You gotta ask yourself that, man. You gotta sincerely look at yourself and say, man, can I even judge the smallest of matters? Can I judge if a brother bumping into another brother and getting mad at him if he should be mad like that, man? Can I judge between that situation? And if you can't, man, if you say, man, I'll be a hypocrite if I did that, or I'm not disciplined myself, or I'm not like that, you gotta work on yourself, man. And we all do. We gotta look at these situations and we gotta say, look, can I judge this matter? Can I judge that matter? Or am I struggling with that too, man? Can I judge if for example, if a brother is continuously showing up late, man? Can I judge if a brother says, yeah, man, I keep waking up at 4 o'clock p.m.? Man, can you judge if a brother saying, man, I can't stop watching football all day and day, man? I watch Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, football all day. I don't do anything else. Can you judge that matter? These are things that we have to understand and look at ourselves and transform from. because the judges and the rulers of the earth, they're not going to be watching football from Thursday to damn Sunday, man, all damn day, and did nothing else, man. They have to look at themselves and say, look, I gotta get right, and they gotta transform into be a king for the Lord, man. This is what it's about, man. Escaping the Babylonian ways and coming into the fruit of being a king for the Lord. But you got it. That's all I had.
Kind of, somebody give me Proverbs 22 and 29.
Yeah.
And just like the brothers were saying, discipline, and that's really the theme kind of this whole thing is really discipline and diligence, because that's what our people lack. That's what the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American lack, and that's why we're at where we're at. We're supposed to be a royal people and a kingly God-like state, but we lack discipline because we want to stray away from what the Most High tells us to do and not be diligent in that and do what we want to do. And that's really what lack of discipline is. Discipline. Can somebody I kind of want the definition? Do I want the definition? The etymology? I think I want. Somebody could get that for me. Because really what discipline is, it holds you back from doing something. Right? Your flesh, your spirit are wars against each other, but discipline, it holds you back from doing specific things that you're taught not to do. Did you get it?
You want this?
Or you want to do it?
No, I wanted that, the etymology.
So it says discipline, right? It says from old French.
You might go down to the next one.
You like this one? Instruction?
The Latin word.
Okay.
Down. This is the next stanza.
Oh yeah, come on. So it says the Latin word is glossed in Old English by however you pronounce that. The meaning, treatment that corrects or punishes, is from the notion of order necessary for instruction.
Right, keep going.
It says meaning branch of instruction of education, meaning system of rules and regulations.
You see that? It says system of rules and regulations. So there's rules, there's regulations that we as a people have. And that's the laws of the Most High. That's what puts us in our leadership. That's what puts us in our rulership. That's what puts us in our kingship. But what? We don't follow those rules. We don't hold ourselves back from doing the opposite of those rules. We don't have any discipline within that structure that the Most High gave us.
Right.
Keep going.
It's more. It says meaning military training, training to follow orders and act in accordance with rules.
You see that? So give me 1 Timothy 2 and verse 3. I want this too. Read Proverbs 22 and verse 29.
And it's the book of Proverbs chapter 22 and verse number 29. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings.
He shall what?
He shall stand before kings.
You see that? A man that's disciplined, diligent in his business, they're going to be kings. They're going to stand before the rulership. And not what?
He shall not stand before mean men.
He shall what?
He shall not stand before mean men.
What does that mean? Y'all know what mean men is? Y'all remember math? What was the mean? Average. So a man that's diligent, he's not going to stand before average men. You see these people in the world, right? Kobe Bryant,
right?
Michael Jordan, LeBron James, right? Kevin Durant, whoever you want, whoever is great at whatever they do. Just take a look at all the stories about Kobe Bryant and how when he's going, even during the Olympics, right? And he's all his peers and teammates, they're going out, they're partying. They come back, and what is Kobe Bryant doing? He's done his second workout already.
Right. Why?
Because that's why he won 5 championships. That's why he's considered one of the greatest all time, because he was disciplined. He was not. He didn't want to stand among average men. You see all these people in the NBA, and I forget, somebody just said it. It was during a podcast. He said there's a lot of people in the NBA that got the talent, but what they don't really let a game. You see Ben Simmons. Everybody says he's not a gym rat or what have you, but he has all the talent in the world. James Harden, they say he's a gym rat. I don't know, but there's men in the NBA, NFL that got all the talent in the world. Everybody in the NFL got talent. Everybody in the NBA got talent. But what separates you is how disciplined are you? How bad do you want it? How bad are you willing to stick to that regimen that you do to not stand before the average man? Read that one more time.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and 29. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men.
See, that's so diligence and discipline. That's what's going to allow you to go to that next level. That's what's going to allow you to stand before kings. And I want you to read this one more time. We're going to go to 1 Timothy.
So back to it. It says discipline, meaning branch of instruction or education, a system of rules and regulations.
Mhm.
Military training.
What that say?
Military training.
Right. And when you go into the military,
Right.
any branch, it don't matter. Those are the most. It don't matter what country you go to. Those are the most disciplined men. Wherever you go, the SEALs. You look at the SEALs training, or you look at the Marines. They waking up at 3 a.m.
Right.
Going and running in the woods, doing damn 10-mile jogs before anybody else is even up in the morning.
Right.
This is what we have to apply. Not saying we got to get up and go run 10 miles, but we have to have that same type of mindset that we can't be, like Brother said, waking up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you just don't know how you're going to go about your day. No, you have to have structure. You have to have discipline. That's why the Most High said he called us to be what? Soldiers. Not just in warfare and being strong, but being a soldier, it takes discipline. Right? So read that. Read 1 Timothy 2 verse 3, Brother Michelle.
You got it?
Oh, no.
No.
Somebody, yeah.
I'll get it. You said 2 and 3?
Yeah.
And this is 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
For this is good.
2 Timothy 2 and 3. Salakia.
And it's the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai and Mashiach.
Right. And it says endure hardness. Why? Because discipline, that's going to allow you to endure hardness. It's not, if you're just motivated all the time, what happens when you're not motivated?
Not going to do it.
Not going to do it.
Right.
Right. But discipline allows you, even when things get hard, if it get tough, you're going to push through that. That's what discipline allows you to do. And that's why these soldiers, when you see them out on the battlefield, things get tough. They're in gunfights and you see bombs dropping, but what? They're still operating in the parameters of what they've been taught. They're still operating on that training that they got. Why? Because that's discipline. That's diligence. Read on.
It says, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai and Mashiach.
Mm-hmm.
No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
You see that? So it said as a good soldier. So what? We have to put off, give me 2 Ezra 14 and 14. And that weak nature really is that slothfulness, that not wanting to. Discipline is hard.
Right.
And I say that a lot. Discipline, if everybody could do. Why do you think there's, whenever you talk about like famous people, or not famous, but successful people,
right, they
always say there's really no rhyme or reason to or there's a blueprint, but it's not hard. It's just being disciplined. That's why Nike, what is their slogan? Just do it. Just do it. It's really all that. It's really just that simple.
Right.
There's really a fight with yourself. That's what discipline is. But you just got to do it. Read what you got, Ken?
And this is 2 Ezra 14 and 14. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature.
Do what?
Put off now the weak nature.
And that's what we have to do as service of the Most High if we want to be kings, is putting off that weak nature. Right? Putting off that spirit of slothfulness or whatever you're doing, whatever thing you're dealing with, whatever spirit you're dealing with, you have to fight against that and hold yourself back from doing things that you know are outside of the parameters which the Most High, he's got what wants us to go in. Right? Read on.
It says, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee,
mm-hmm.
and haste thee to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter.
Right. So discipline and diligence, that's what's going to get us to our kingdom. That's what the law is. You see, people talk about religion. Again, religion just goes back to what? Discipline, right? Holding you back from doing something. Core, I don't know if y'all know the rapper Core, but he's a successful rapper. He has a song. It says that ish don't come overnight. Blood, sweat, tears, night after night. Mm. So for you to be successful, for you to be a king, it's not just one day you're doing this and you're motivated. And no, when motivation ain't working hard, that's when discipline comes in. That's where kings got to show up all the time, whether they feel like it or not. Because don't it say as a king is, so is his people? Right. So what? As a king, you got to have discipline to be able to show up and do what you say you're going to do. But brother got it.
Con, all praise to the Most High. Can you go to Proverbs chapter 12 and 24? And like the brother said, having that mindset, it ultimately comes with discipline, right? Discipline is really the foundation of a lot of things. Discipline is a foundation of discipline is the foundation, right, of wisdom. Right? You want to obtain wisdom. Why? By having a foundation, having a root, having a set structure, having laws and order that you must abide by. The Lord has given us laws and order right now. Right? The Lord gave us commandments. Right? Genesis to Deuteronomy. You understand? The rest of the commandments that's written throughout the scriptures. But at the end of the day, if you're not holding yourself to that, you're going to be overthrown. And how could you ever be a part of the kingdom and be a ruler and be a judge if you can't even hold it down with the little bit amount of order that's given to you right now? If you can't rule over your spirit, how are you going to rule over a nation? Rule over 17 nations? How you think you're going to have slaves and heathen? How you think you're going to be able to have different cities that you over if you can't hold it down in your own spirit? Really, that's the real thought. Brothers got to be able to hold it down. While we go through different things, but you got to have a order, right? I know for my own self, right, to help me out, I had to get a calendar. I had to physically see a calendar and have a to-do list and what's my highest priority things I got to do throughout the week, what I need to do this day, what I need to do that day, so on and so forth. And I've been holding myself to that. And we got to do the same thing. Because at the end of the day, we're not just a regular man, right? They say even in the world, there's something called a high value man. Hey, men in this truth, you the real high value men, right? They talk about that. They talk about the red pill, the blue pill, and this and that. That's all. I mean, we could take some of that from it, but at the end of the day, we know that the real, true, valuable men of the earth is the men of Yasharala. So us being that, we got to hold ourselves to that. You can bring this out, King.
Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 24.
Right?
The hand of the diligent shall bear rule.
What the Lord said?
The hand of the diligent shall bear rule.
The Lord said the hands of the diligent, they'll be the ones who's going to bear rule. You're not going to bear rule, again, if you can't rule over yourself. Right? You're just moving in just random. Every day is just random. Some days you wake up, you don't know what's going on. You have no structure. You have no guidance. Binge watching all day. Hey, we can't be in that mind. Now, we were taught that from Babylon. I want to pull this up real quick, right? Can you read this, King? I want to read this. Yeah, that's the spirit. Yeah. You want to go into it?
No, I was thinking that's exactly what's going on.
Can you read this?
Con.
Because I actually just recently did a video on this, right? And, brothers go through this oftentimes, but America, which comes from that Greco-Roman Empire, the spirit that they move in is you doing your own pleasures. In fact, they tell you there's no greater thing in life than for a man to enjoy his pleasures. They tell you that in Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. Bring this up, okay?
This is hedonism etymology. The word hedonism comes from the ancient Greek word hedone, which means pleasure.
Which means what?
Which means pleasure.
And the Lord, I'm going to get this real quick, right? While the brother's reading that. Because the Lord said this. He said this about women, but we know this applied to us as well, right? What I'm going to show you. I'm going to go to this real quick in 1 Timothy, right? This is what the Lord said. This 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 6. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Right? So we moving in pleasure, then you really moving in death and destruction. You gotta forgo that. It's not that brothers are what they say, super bruised. You have no free time. No, that wouldn't make sense because over time you're gonna get you're gonna drink, you're gonna wear yourself out. The Lord said, and much study is the weariness of the flesh. So you're gonna overthrow yourself eventually, but you need to still have that structure and still have that order. Right. You can't just be every day, oh brother, the Lord said, defraud not thyself of a good day. Every day you're just not defrauding yourself of a good day. How is every day just a good day? There's a time and season for everything, brother.
Got that precept on the wall.
Right.
Wake up to it.
As soon as a brother check a brother, hey brother, what you been doing? Hey, defraud not thyself of a good day. Pull out the damn Henny bottle out of his pocket. Boom, defraud not thyself of a good day, brother. Bring this on, King. What is, again, this is the philosophy of the Greco-Roman Empire that's over here in America today. Bring this on, King.
The word hedonism comes from the ancient Greek word hedone, which means pleasure. Hedone comes from the Greek word hedis, which means sweet or pleasant. Hedonism is a general term for ethical theories that focus on the role of pleasure.
On the what?
On the role of pleasure.
Right, read on.
And pain in our actions, beliefs, values, and motivations. Hedonism is one of the most debated philosophies and has been studied by many philosophers, including Epicurus, Plato, Aristotle, Mill, Moore, Bartholomew, and Humi.
Right, about to get into it.
Yeah. Now, there are several variants of hedonism, including psychological or motivational hedonism, claims that only pleasure or pain motivates us. Ethical validative hedonism claims that only pleasure has worth or value.
Has what?
Has worth or value.
They said only pleasure has worth or value. Meaning what? Freak off. Do what makes you feel good.
And do as thou wilt.
Do as thou wilt, right? Don't have no structure at all. Even in I think we just went into it on a Watchman Wednesday, but on the back of the dollar bill, it says order out of chaos. So they want you to have the order of this society is a be without order. To do your own thing.
Right.
Do as thou wilt. Be as you are. Don't wake up at 6 a.m. and wake up when you feel like waking up. Stay up all night if you want to. It's cool. Don't read them chapters. You see, when we see that, because we got demons, when we have to deal with them scoffers, what do? They always tell us don't read that book. They don't want to hear no laws and structures. Because demons, they don't want structure. Right? They want to get on you to allow you to not have any structure or any rule over your spirit. So let's read this again, King, in Proverbs 12.
The book of Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 24. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute.
Let's go to Proverbs 25 and 28. You got a precept?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 28.
Right.
He that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
The Lord said, if you don't have rule over your own spirit, then you're like a city that's broken down without walls. Meaning what? You're desolate. You're desolate. You brought low. In fact, if we're talking about having a king-like mind and transitioning from that slave mind, which is to do everything that your oppressor is telling you to do, which is what? To move in that hedonistic spirit, to move in pleasure, to have no rule, have no self-worth or self-value. A lot of brothers struggle with depression, and they don't even talk about it. Brothers deal with depression. Why? Because that's a spirit that's over us for us not being diligent in whatever the Most High is telling us to do, keeping the commandments, right? Fighting the temptations, fighting this flesh, right? Being disciplined, right? You have your mind according to this world, and this world has nothing for us. So therefore, of course, you're going to be depressed. But when you remember, okay, I'm a king, can't move like this. Man, I gotta fast. I gotta make sure I'm fasting at least one time a week, twice a week if these spirits are extra on me. I gotta make sure I'm reading. I gotta wake up at 6. If I gotta work at 8 o'clock and I normally wake up at 7 and I don't get no time to myself, well, maybe I should wake up at 6 or 5 o'clock so I can get the extra time in, get the extra reading in, and do what I gotta do to set my day up for righteousness. Putting on the whole armor of the Lord. That's what a king is gonna do. King not just gonna walk. You even see it really quickly. Right, I'm gonna make this quick point. Even in the world, a lot of these rappers, celebrities, they walk with security. They're not just out there getting their chain snatched and, they have no team around them. You want to keep the angels around you. So therefore, you want to put on the whole spirit and the protection of the Most High so that way them demons, they can flee from you. Now, I want to read this verse again, King. Actually, don't even go to that. What are Proverbs 10 and 4?
Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 4.
Right, bring this up.
And it reads, he becometh poor that dealeth with slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich.
But the what?
But the hand of the diligent maketh rich.
The Lord said you'll become poor when you're dealing with a slack hand. Meaning what? You always, you're never consistent. You never, you go days without reading at times, right? You have days where you're just being preoccupied with the events of this world. The Lord said over time you're going to become poor. Right? Imagine you didn't go to work every day. What's going to happen? You might have 10K in your bank account, but over time, it's going to go from 10K to 5K at the bill, at the bill, at the bill. Hey, somebody get that, brother. Bill at the bill, at the bill. And over time, you're going to become poor. So the Lord said he become a poor that dealeth with a slack hand. But the hand of the diligent, a brother that's rising up early, doing what he has to do, staying on top of his affairs, and the Most High God, he's going to allow him to be rich. Right, on a spiritual level, but even on a physical level. Because we're talking about a kingdom and a rulership. It starts again first with your mind, and then you can bring those things to light. right? Had a few more, but I'm passing.
Okay, calm.
Okay.
Calm. Can your brother go to Judges 17:6? I did read that. Couldn't find it. Yeah. Just go in to blame me back on that brother, man. Because like the brother said, you don't want to be in the mindset where you do whatever you want to do. That's what a mindset of people that are out of order do. We're going to read about it. Judges 17:6.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 17 and verse 6. In those days there was no king in Israel, but every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
What did they do?
That which was right in their own eyes.
Hey, they indulge in self-punishment, man. What they want to do. I want to go over here. Why I want to do this? Why I want to wake up at this time? Why I want to move like that? And we can't be in that type of mindset, man. That's what a man, they said they had no king. Meaning what? They had no order. There was no pecking order. No man telling them what to do. And they did whatever was right in their own mind, man. Hey, us men in the truth, we have a king, man. That's it. How about Shina Awashad, man? In the world, we move like that. We had no king. We had no one to fall underneath. We had no people to look up to. And we just did what we wanted to do. We moved how we wanted to move. We said what we wanted to say. But now in the truth, hey, we have a king. So we can't move in that order where we do what we want to do, man. A man moving like that, like I said, is that the Lord has no use for a man like that, man. And he'll be ruled out, man. The Lord tells you to do this, and we say, well, Lord, I want to do this one. I want to do how I want to do. Because that's how I was moving before. That's how I was moving in the world, man. And we hear people say that, man. In the truth. Well, I used to be like that. And that's just me. That's me. That's me. That's a Tazama. Right. We heard brothers say that, man. So, that's just me. What does that mean, brother? What do you mean that's just you, man?
Right.
You can change, brother, because the Lord requires you to change,
right.
man. If you was a drunkard, man, you can't say, well, that's a Tazama. That's Yair. that's Yair, man.
Yair.
Yeah. And talking to the third person about yourself. Right. Brother, you gotta change, man. The Lord said you can't be drunkard, you gotta change, man. And you gotta discipline yourself not to be that drunkard, man. You gotta discipline yourself not to be that damn weed smoker. You gotta discipline yourself not to be the sluggard. The brother that wakes up at 5 p.m., man, every single damn day, man. Discipline yourself not to do that. And you gotta look at yourself and you gotta really get on yourself, man. That's the whole point. You have to get on yourself. And at the same time, man, the Lord is getting on you, man. Right. Go to Job 36:5. The Lord, he gets on us, man. When you can see correction for the Lord all the time. As a king, a future king, you gotta be able to discern that, pick it out, and then take heed to it, man. Otherwise, you're gonna be, like I keep saying, a nigga that sees a chastening and takes no account of it, man. You see the Lord getting up with you. You're always a brother. Like I keep using this example. You're always waking up late. Now you're the brother. You woke up late for the one last time for your job. 3 hours late, and your job fires you, man. You're making $40 an hour, and you woke up late that one time and your job fires you, man. That's the Lord telling you, hey, look, you gotta get your act together, man. You wake up late that one time, and now you missed out on something, man. Your man, I don't know, your friend in the world texts you like, hey, look, I got a job and looking for another person. It's gonna be $2,000 for this day, and all we gotta do is work 3 hours and drive from here to there. And I see another person tag along, you get $2K. You woke up at then 2 o'clock, man. The message was sent at 8 o'clock a.m. and you missed out, man. That's the Lord getting up with you, and you gotta take heed to those type of things, man. Go ahead, Ken. You can bring this out.
This is the book of Job, chapter 36 and verse 5. Behold, God is mighty and despiseth not any. He is mighty in strength and wisdom.
You can jump down to verse 7.
Verse 7. He withdraweth not his eyes from the righteous, but with kings are they on the throne.
But with what?
But with kings are they on the throne.
So the Lord will always has his eyes upon the kings that are on the throne, man. Always. But what does the Lord say after that? Go ahead, Ken.
Yea, he doth establish them forever, and they are exalted.
Read.
And if they be bound in fetters.
And if they be what?
And if they be bound in fetters.
And the kings, if they're bound in fetters, and we're bound in fetters, man. We're in slavery. We're in the lowest state. We're in the lowest state that we've ever been in, man. We have been bound in fetters and been put through mental and physical slavery. The Lord says this about that. Go ahead, King.
And beholden in cords of affliction.
And beholden in cords of affliction.
Then he sheweth them their work.
Then he does what?
Then he showeth them their work.
What's him making you lose your job?
Then he showeth them their work.
Miss out on that extra 2K?
Then he showeth them their work.
He'll show us our work, man. He'll show us where we're going off, man. If you're a brother that's dealing with, like I said, the slumber demon, he's going to show you that, man. He's going to show you if you're a brother that can't deal with a gluttonous spirit, man. Can't stop eating, man. A brother that is dealing with a weed smoking demon, man. You know, now you got damn black lungs or something. I don't know. The Lord will show you that, man. He'll show you the works that you're doing bad. You know, not only you gotta get on yourself, man, look within yourself and examine yourself, but the Lord will show you it, man. And you gotta take heed to it. Keep reading.
And their transgressions that they have exceeded.
And their transgressions that they exceeded, man. Read.
He openeth also their ear to discipline.
What does he do also?
He openeth also their ear to discipline.
And the man that wants to, the righteous man, they're going to have their ears open to discipline. And we have to have our ears open to discipline, man. We got to have our ears open to rebuke, man. You got to have your ears open when a brother tells you, hey, brother, you got to get your act together, man. You got to get your act together, man. If a brother came up to me and says, yo, man, you got to get your act together, man. Or your time, you gotta get your act together, man. Wherever you come to care, man, your shoes are always untied, man. You're always tripping up the street, man. Hey, man, brothers tell me that, man. Elder always gets on me, man.
Right.
Yo, you got close your book bag, man.
Right.
Why your book bag all open up, man? Got everything spilling out, man. Hey, I gotta get on myself, man.
Right.
And I gotta get a new book bag, and I did. All praise to the Most High, brothers. Tell me, I got a new book bag in the damn car. Waiting to bring that thing out, man. Brothers have to get on you, man. And you gotta receive that correction, man. If a brother gets on you, you gotta have your ears open to that discipline, man. Why? Because that's how kings operate, man. Hey, when David got instruction, he took that instruction, man. Right. He took it. He didn't say, well, I'm a king, man. Get out here, man. I'm gonna keep doing what I want. I'm gonna keep being sorrowful about my son dying and just ignore Israel, man. Hey, no, he took that correction and he did what was needed to be done. You keep reading, King.
He opened their ear to discipline and commanded that they return from iniquity. If they obey and serve him.
And if you obey and serve the Lord, if you turn away from what you was doing before and the ways that you was moving before, as I keep saying, as a nigga, man, as a Babylonian, as an American, and you turn and say, Lord, I want to be a king again. I want to be a king and rule the right way. I want to do what's right. I want to be on that ruler. I want to be on that throne ruling, man. When you turn and you serve the Lord, read.
They shall spend their days in prosperity.
They shall do what?
They shall spend their days in prosperity.
You spend your days in prosperity, man. You'll get, man. You know, you'll have the kingdom waiting for you, man. Well, if you don't, the Lord's going to tell you what happens. Go ahead.
In their years and pleasures.
Read.
But if they obey not.
But if what?
But if they obey not.
What if I want you sleeping in?
But if they obey not.
I want to miss camp.
But if they obey not.
I want to do my own thing.
But if they obey not.
But if they obey not. Meaning, if you say, look, I don't want to subject myself to discipline. I want to be a free spirit, man. I want to do me. Man, I just want to, freak off, man. If they don't obey, what does the Lord say?
They shall perish by the sword.
They shall what?
They shall perish by the sword.
They're going to enjoy their years.
They shall perish by the sword.
The Lord's going to get up with you. The Lord has no need for niggas, man. And this new kingdom, man. There's no need for that, man. There's no need for the brother that comes, like the brother said, with the Henny bottle in his pocket, saying, defraud not thyself of a good day. Every single damn day, man. The brother has done no work, but he has a Henny bottle in his back pocket, and he just spamming that precept. And he's going to other brothers, defraud not thyself of a good day. We're going to get drunk tonight, the next night, the night after that, and then we're going to freak off in the morning. Don't be that brother, man. The Lord has no need for you, man. Be the brother that has a form of discipline. Keep reading, King.
Come on. But if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge.
And they shall die without knowledge. That's the lot of men that don't want to discipline themselves, man. And it's truth. It's being honest. That's the lot of men. There are a lot of men that just wake up, they got the fringes on, but they wake up and they do nothing, man. The Lord has no need for men like that, man.
Right.
The Lord has need for men that want to be disciplined, that want to give up their life like it says in Matthew 16, and subject themselves unto what the Lord leads them to do. That's what the Lord needs. That's what the Lord's calling for. Men that want to discipline themselves and get right with God, man. Get right with Yahweh Shem Shah. Not men that want to continue doing the same works that we're doing of old in the new, in the truth, man. Kind of, you got it. That's all I got.
Kind of, and I guess we still going in on discipline, but it's not. Can somebody give me Galatians 5:16? Because it's really a fight. That's really the fight that we're up against. Is really you got to look in that mirror and fight against yourself, because that's the main person that's holding you back is yourself, right? And that's what discipline is training your. And I want that in I think it's 1 Corinthians the 7th chapter, where Paul talks about you got to hold down your own vessel, right? You got to keep yourself from doing certain things, because that's what the Most High, that's what He requires. That's how we're going to get, again, our rulership back. I want Galatians first, though. But that's what we want. That if we're going to get our rulership back, we gotta be disciplined. We got to be kings. We have to be. That's what made us a holy people. That's what made us a royal people, is our conduct in the rules and the regulations that the Most High gave us. And we're not royal if we're not keeping those statutes, the law that the Most High. We're not royal. We're royal when we're actually trying and attempting to do those things. If not, that's what separates us from being a holy people in the heathen. The heathen do what they want to do. We can't do. That's not how. Just like the brother brought up. Was it heathenism?
Yeah.
What do you think that is? Just doing what everyone. That's why all these damn. You see the Chinese man over there eating rat, cat, and dog, and the white man doing whatever he wants to. You see what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. The Most High destroyed it. Why? Because they was living in excess. They was doing things outside of what He prescribed. So that's what makes us holy. That's what makes us kings, is being disciplined. So can you read that, Galatians?
And it's the book of Galatians, right? Galatians chapter 5 and verse number 16. Mm-hmm. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Uh-huh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit.
For what?
For the flesh lusteth against the spirit.
Right, and that's the real fight, is your spirit, because your flesh is just housing your spirit. You're not, you are your flesh, but that's just your house. You have to fight against that, because again, it's going to try to do things. It wants to do things that are contrary to what the Most High wants you to do.
Right.
And that's the real fight. That's discipline, is holding yourself back from doing those things.
It says, in the spirit against the flesh. Uh-huh. And these are contrary the one to the other.
What did that say?
And these are contrary the one to the other.
Right. Like I said, that's the fight that we have to fight. Is disciplining ourselves so that we are kings, so that we are ruling. Give me that. Is it Deuteronomy? I think it's the 4th chapter in verse 6. He said, the Most High said He gave His laws and commandments. I think it's 4 and 6, because He says that's what's going to allow the nations to see us as a royal people. Right. That's what's going to allow the nations to see that we're different, that we're above. What you got?
And this is Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 6. Uh-huh. Keep therefore verse 5. Mm-hmm. It says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
Right, and the statutes and judgments, the laws that the Most High gave us, they're telling us what to do and what not to do. So that's discipline. It's holding us back from doing certain things that the Most High don't want us to do. We don't.
Even as the Lord my God Yahweh commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Mm-hmm. Keep therefore and do them.
It says, keep therefore and do them. Read.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation.
What's it going to do?
Which shall hear all these statutes and say.
Meaning what? The nations, they're going to see us keep these commandments. They're going to see us keeping the things that the Most High prescribed to us, and what's going to happen.
Surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
And that's why the nations don't look at us like that right now. It's because we have no discipline. We're out here just shooting and killing one another, selling poison to one another, popping each other's women. So what do they look at? They look at us as these other nations. They have some kind of order. It might not be exactly the order that the Most High, prescribed, but you go over there to Saudi Arabia, and they're not just letting you get away with anything. Right. But our nation, we don't get on each other. We just let each other do whatever we want to do, and we say, "Oh, that's none of my business." So we have no order, we have no structure, we have no discipline. That's why we're looked at as we're looked at, because we have no discipline. But the Most High, He gave us discipline. That's how we're going to be looked at as a wise and understanding people in the sight of these other nations. Is what? By disciplining ourselves. Read it. You know.
It says, verse 7, for what nation is there so great, who had Yahweh so nigh unto them, as Yahweh our God is in all things that we call upon him for.
Mm-hmm.
For what nation is there so great that had statutes and judgments, so righteous?
So what?
So righteous.
You see that? That's what they're going to look at us as, a righteous nation, a royal people. Go on.
As all this law which I set before you this day, only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently.
You see that? It says, do what?
And keep thy soul diligently.
Right. Keep thy soul diligent, discipline, all the same thing. It says, take heed unto thyself too. So you have to look at yourself, right? You have to. That's what discipline. Looking at yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror, and seeing what you could do better. How you can build yourself and grow yourself. You know?
Lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons, especially the day that thou stoodest before the Lord thy God in Horeb.
And this is what, go back to 1 Corinthians. This is what Paul was saying. He said, you gotta, we're going to read it. I'm not going to butcher it.
And this is 1 Corinthians chapter 9, and I'm going to get right to it.
You can start up a little bit.
Come, let's start at 24.
Yeah.
It says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all?
See that? Just like we were talking about earlier. Kobe Bryant. He's one of the best examples because all the stories that he has about him.
Right.
From his peers, you know?
I'm going to make a quick point, too.
Yeah,
that's his spirit. Last night, it popped up because I've been listening to motivational videos. And Kobe, just so brothers don't think I'm capping, right? He literally was one of the videos I checked out right before we sleep. See that?
Wow, see that?
Yeah, that's the spirit.
It says, I was a loner.
Right.
Go on.
It says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize.
Go on.
So run that ye may obtain.
Do what?
So run that ye may obtain.
Right. You don't run just to be average, like the scripture said. You don't want to stand among mean men. If you want to run to obtain, Paul's going to tell you, you got to be disciplined to obtain that. You can't just. And what are we racing for? We're racing for that crown. Right? We're racing for that kingdom. We want to be kings, right? So what? Paul's going to tell you, you can't just be running without no discipline. You can't be running without no structure. You can't just be running to get in fifth place. No, if you want that crown, you have to have a standard that you have to hold yourself to. You know?
It says, I'm going to read that again. Mm-hmm. Know ye not that they which run in the race run all, but one receives the prize. So run that ye may obtain. Mm-hmm. And every man that striveth for the mastery,
meaning if you want to be the best, you know,
is temperate in all things.
Temperate is another word for what? Discipline. You got to be temperate in all things, you know?
Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
Right. If they can do it for that NBA championship or that NFL Super Bowl, that's going to pass away. That's going to be burnt up. But we're doing this for a crown that's everlasting. Right? Read on.
Read on. It says, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air.
Go on.
But I keep under my body and bring it unto subjection.
Do what?
And bring it unto subjection.
See that? That's what, again, discipline, when we talk about Galatians 5 and we're warring against our flesh, you have to be able to bring your flesh into subjection.
Right.
You don't want to wake up, like brother said, 6 o'clock, but you got to force yourself to do that. If you go to the gym, you might not want to go to the gym. You got to force yourself to do that. You might not want to go out and teach on the Sabbath. You might not want to go keep camp. You got to force yourself because, again, you're not always going to be motivated to do these things. Right. Motivation, it goes sometimes. It wanes.
Right.
But discipline is always going to be there when you're not motivated. Go ahead.
Read on. It says, but I keep under my body and bring. What brother that point?
Yeah, do you have a point ready? Okay, good.
Come. And bring it unto subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway.
You see that? So you have to keep your body in subject. That's what discipline is, and that's what's going to allow you to receive that incorruptible crown that we're all race. That's what we're talking about, being kings, right? So that's how you receive that crown, is keeping your body under subjection. But you got to king.
All praise to Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Can a brother go to well, can you go to Jeremiah?
Okay, come on.
Go to Jeremiah chapter 33 and actually start at Isaiah first. Go to Isaiah chapter 1, and I want to start at 21.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 21.
Right?
How is the faithful city becoming harlot?
Right?
It was full of judgment.
It what?
It was full of judgment.
The Lord said Israel was full of judgment, right? But like the brother said, not only being a king should you have diligence and discipline, right? Ruling over your vessel, but also you got to know how to move in a proper judgment. You got to, meaning you got to know what's right and what's wrong. That's what wisdom is. Wisdom is the knowledge of what's right and what's wrong. How to please the Most High and have discernment to do so. Choosing not to do the wrong, but choosing to do the right. So the Lord said, Israel, we once moved like this. But what? Now we're no longer like this. Let's read on.
It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it.
And we have righteousness within us in ancient times. Then our people fell astray, right? Went against the Most High. Now we moving like niggas. Now we're niggas. We was once a royal nation. Now we move like niggas. And even while we coming into this truth, and brothers are coming into truth, waking up, right? We're still battling those same spirits that we once was dealing with when we was in the world. You understand? So we got to remember, we got to change our mind. Yeah, you have to change. You can't just, like your brother said, you can't just say, oh, that's me. And that is what it is. And you know that's how I am. It's no, you know what that's how I am, brother. You need to change yourself. We all got to change. I can't just be Mir. I'm not Mir no more. I'm not Mir. I'm not Yah-Mir. Hey, I'm trying to be a servant of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. And again, as a man, think of in his heart, so was he. So if I want to serve the Most High, I got to cast away who I once was and put on that righteousness. Put on that diadem. Put on the crown. Put on a mighty garment in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Let's read on, King.
But now, murderers, thy silver is become dross, thy wine mixed with water.
Right, read on.
Thy princes are rebellious, and companions of thieves. Everyone loveth gifts, and followeth after rewards. They judge not the fatherless, neither doth the cause of the widow come unto them.
Right, so they got slack. They got slack and not doing what they're supposed to do. As a nation, we got slack and not being able to rule over our own spirit, nor were we able to rule over Israel, so the Lord cast us away. Now let's jump to verse 26, though. Is that the end all be all? Let's see what the Lord say. Verse 26.
Okay, verse 26. And I will restore thy judges as at the first.
But now in the last days, he's restoring us back again as at the first. And we know how we're supposed to walk again. As a judge and a king, they have order. They have equity. They have righteousness lodged within them. They know how to move. They're able to take correction and also give the correction. They're not hypocrites, because hypocrites are not going to be a part of the kingdom of heaven. Let's read on, King.
And thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward, thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city.
Right, read on.
Zion shall be redeemed with judgment.
What the Lord say?
Zion shall be redeemed with judgment.
Right, read on.
And her converts with righteousness.
And the Lord said those that's converted to her, they're going to be with righteousness. So that's the mind, again, that we want to walk in. You got to transition out of the ways that America has you in into what Yahweh Shem Yahshua wants you in. Now, okay, come on. Let's go to, what do I want to call it? Go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. Right? 4 and start at 2.
Okay, come on.
Let's read that. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse number 2.
This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 2. For ye know what commandments we gave you by the Lord Yahweh Shai. For this is the will of Yahweh, even your sanctification.
Even your what?
Even your sanctification.
Right, read on.
That you should abstain from fornication.
And we want our people to abstain from fornication.
Right.
Right, of course, physical fornication, but spiritual fornication. That's spiritual fornication by getting down with hedonism.
Right.
The pleasures of his life. That's what the world, King, can you go to Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 6? That's what the world, right? Why would you finish that? That's what the world had ordained. They want you to get down like that. They don't want you to have righteousness lodged within you. They don't want you to not murder your brother no more. They say don't keep the laws. You got pastors out here saying don't even keep the Big Ten. He said, I know that just freaking your tradition out. He said, because Jesus died and saved me from the big tent. He said that. You have pastors talking about, hey, don't give to the poor no more. You need to give these tithes. That's what's going to save you. A man just came out and said that on Twitter. I'll send it in the group chat for brothers, but complete madness. So now they saying, don't keep the commandments. Don't help out your poor, help out your neighbor, right? But help them out. Because that's going to be the way of salvation. You need a charger?
That white charger over there, King?
Let's read on that, King. First Thessalonians. Read on.
Verse 3. For this is the will of Yahweh, even your sanctification, that you should abstain from fornication, that every one of you should know how to possess his vessel.
Should what?
Should know how to possess his vessel.
The Lord said, every one of you should know how to possess his vessel. Meaning you should know how to hold it down in the spirit. You should know how to move in the eyes of the Lord. You should know that, brother, you shouldn't be waking up damn 12 o'clock. The sun go down at 5:30, and you waking up at 12 or 1 o'clock.
5 hours in the day.
You got 4 hours.
Yeah,
left.
4 hours. Yeah.
4 or 5 hours of daylight. But the Lord has the sun to rule over the day and the moon to rule over the night for a reason. Your body naturally produces serotonin. The brothers correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's a proper chemical that's in your mind. Serotonin to go ahead and allow you to start to get relaxed. So at night you kind of relax, you're stretching out, right? Melatonin. To what? And I believe so. You're right. It is melatonin.
That's for sleep.
Come on. And it starts to relax you and allow you to be able to, have a good night's rest, like they say. So if you waking up damn 4 hours beforehand, or whatever the case may be, you're not doing what you got to do throughout that day. One bad day can spiral to another day, and another day spirals to another day, and before you know it, you got an entire bad week.
They call it a snowball effect.
And we're speaking from experience. I've been there, right? I'm not speaking as if I had never been there. I've been there, right? We these are spirits that you got to battle being in the truth. This is something they don't tell us in the world, and we know that because this is how the world moves. Let's bring this up, King.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 6. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments.
Let us do what?
Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments.
They said, look, let us fill ourselves with what the best things in this life, right? Whether drinking and access, right? Physically and spiritually. You damn drinking and you watching your favorite shows and you doing your thing and your mind is completely void of what the Lord wants you to do. Over time, brother, you're going to lose that oil.
YOLO spirit.
Exactly. And you lose that oil, and guess what? Like a candle. You see this candle right here? Let's bring that candle over here real quick. Over time, right, you waste. Okay, come on. Well, that's good.
No.
The point is, no, it's cool. Oh, praise the Most High. Over time, you see this oil, right? This candle is melting, and over time, this oil is going to start to dissipate. And before you know it, the brother will have to buy another snickerdoodle candle, right? It's going to be gone, right? And that's how you are when you waste the knowledge, wisdom, understanding that the Most High is giving you. Over time, you just letting it burn and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, right? The Most High God will get rid of that wisdom from you, and you're back in the world. The Lord told you that in Job chapter 18, verse 5, that he blew off the light or the candlestick out of the wicked. He told you that. And we know that, so we got to hold ourselves to these precepts and keep our vessels sanctified and honored, right? In Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Let's read on though, King.
Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass us by. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness.
See that? They said, let none of us go without our part in our voluptuousness. Meaning, let's enjoy the finer things of life. They say, when in Rome, do as. Yeah. This is Rome all over again. So we got to be mindful. Babylon is not for us, right? Binge watching, worrying about, and again, it's not that you can't ever spend some time with your woman. Maybe you go out to a restaurant, you had a nice day, playing something one time out the month, 2 times in the month, whatever, because you got to do your part as well. But if you're doing that every day, then that's not the same thing.
Right.
And that's the point.
Right.
There's no order. There's no discipline. There's no structure. You're just free-spirited. All hell breaking loose. Brothers sending alerts in the group chat. You don't know what the hell is going on. You just out there just enjoying this world, brother. What do you think's gonna happen? You're not really of this truth. You of the world. The Lord said, "I've chosen them out of the world." In John the 17th chapter. So you can rest right there, King. Finish this out, and I'm gonna pass it.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 4, that every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor, not in the lust of concupiscence,
Right.
Slakia, even as the Gentiles which know not Yahweh.
Which do what?
Which know not Yahweh.
So you don't want to occupy yourself in the things the Gentiles do. Again, we did that in times past. The Lord said we learned the works of the heathen, the heathen in Slakia. I'm gonna get it actually. I don't want to misquote it. I'm about to damn misquote that precept. This Psalm chapter 106 and 35. But we're mingled among the heathen and learned their works. So Babylon, they have one way in their philosophies in their life. Don't be like that, right? Follow what the scriptures are saying. Be structured. Have a discipline. Have a routine, right? And most are willing. That's going to convert your mind towards the kingdom, right? But y'all got it, kings. Yeah, if y'all want to bring out your closing precepts.
He goes to Sirach 23, verse 1.
And it's a lot more, honestly, we could have went into it. Right. So might be a series. Might be a series.
23 and what?
23 and 1.
What you want that?
This is the book.
Good.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 23 and verse 1.
Right.
O Lord, Father and Governor of our whole life, of all my whole life.
So can you read that one more time?
O Lord, Father and Governor of all my whole life.
Of all my whole life. Right. So the Lord, he's our Father and our Governor. He tells us what to do. He directs us. He instructs us. And we gotta take heed we gotta take heed to that instruction. We gotta take heed to the directions and the way that the Lord wants us to operate, man. He's the Lord, Father, and Governor of our whole life, man.
Right.
Literally, man. And the Lord gave you all the directions you need to do in this here book right here, man. The Bible, man. With the Apocrypha included. We have the instruction, man. And we gotta submit. And in our mind, take heed that the Lord, he is our governor, man. And you really gotta do it, man. A lot of brothers, they might say it with their lips, man. Yeah, the Lord, he's my Father. All praise to the Lord. But do they really act like that, man? Would they really take heed to it, man? Would they really submit their souls to Yahweh Shem Shai? And the Lord says you can't hate your brother, man. You gotta deal wisely with your brother. The brother's like, nah, I'm not doing that, man. He stepped on my shoes. Me and my side. We gotta get the fist on, man. That brother, he might be saying the Lord is his Father, his Governor, his God, but is he really saying that in his heart, man? Like the brother brought out in Proverbs 23, I believe. Proverbs 23 and 7. That he might say that with his mouth, but his heart is not with that, man. So you gotta look within inside your heart and say, hey, look, is the Lord the Governor over my whole life, man? Am I moving like the king that the Lord wants me to move? Or am I moving like a nigga? You keep reading it out.
O Lord, Father and Governor of my whole life, all my whole life, lead me not to their counsels and let me not fall by them. Who will set scourges over my thoughts and the discipline of wisdom over mine heart?
And the what?
And the discipline of wisdom over mine heart.
And that's a rhetorical question. The Lord will do that, man. When you submit yourselves to the Lord will set scourges over your thought, man. And Slaki, let me not misquote it. The discipline of wisdom over your own heart, man. He will do that for you, man. But you gotta move in that same direction, man. If you're moving in the opposite direction, say, I want to do what I want to do, man. Hey, the Lord's never gonna give you discipline, man. You gotta be the brother that's always struggling with discipline, always struggling with getting up, always struggling with doing what you need to get done, man. Always struggling with getting the things that you have stuff for the day, getting them done. You gotta ask yourself, man, are you moving in that direction? Are you moving against it? And that might be where your problem lies at, man. If you're moving against it, man, you're never gonna get it. Why? Because the Lord, he'll only give it to those that want to move with wisdom. Let's keep reading, okay?
Come on, Salakia.
No, you are good.
And the discipline of wisdom over mine heart, that they spare me not for mine ignorances, and it pass not, and it pass not by my sins, lest my ignorance is increased.
Lest what?
Least my ignorance is increased.
Lest my ignorance is increased, man. And you don't want to have your ignorance increased, man. Now you're full, your mind is full blown, and to be a nigga in the world, man. To lead the truth, man.
Right.
Why? Because you didn't want to submit to the Lord, man. And have him be a governor over your whole life, man. You gotta ask the Lord to set these scourges over your thoughts, man. Discipline you more. You gotta move in that direction too, man. You gotta, like the brother said in the beginning, you gotta go back to the law, man. See where you're going off in the law and discipline yourself by the law. Keep reading, all right?
Come on. And I fall before mine adversaries, and mine enemy rejoice over me.
And when you don't have discipline, when you don't try to move in a king-like manner that the Lord wants you to move in, you're gonna fall by your enemies, man. You're gonna fall, man. And you're gonna fall back in the world, man. And you're gonna be a laughing stock to your enemies, man. Literally, man. They're gonna walk by you and they're gonna laugh. Oh man, he's a nigga again, man. He's a black man. He's an African American. We love that, man. They're gonna clap their hands. They're gonna dance. And they're gonna, man. It's wicked, man. They're gonna say, Kwam Edom, man. Yeah, it's off, man. Rise or Edom. That's how they're gonna act. That's how they're gonna be when you want to fall by the wayside being a king, man. They're gonna be praising, man, over your fall. So don't give them that, man. Do the opposite, man. Walk with wisdom. Keep reading, right?
And I fall before mine adversaries, and mine enemy rejoice over me.
Literally gonna rejoice over you.
Whose hope is far from thy mercy.
Go to verse 6.
Verse 6.
It's like verse 5.
Verse 5. Turn away from me vain hopes and concupiscence.
And turn away from yourself vain hopes, man. Don't hope in vain things. Hoping in the pleasure of your flesh, man. Hope on, I'm gonna get it back, man. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna work out my own salvation. Oh, not like that, but I'm gonna save myself, man. I'm gonna save myself. I don't need the Lord, man. I'm gonna deliver myself. I'm gonna get rich. Don't be like that, man. Hey, turn away from these vain thoughts. Keep reading.
And thou shalt hold him up that is desirous always to serve thee.
Always what?
Always to serve thee.
You gotta be desirous always to serve the Lord, man. Always. Always have to be desirous of walking his ways, and then the Lord will hold us up. Well, that's all I got. You got it.
Give me Tobit 4 and verse 19.
And it's the book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 19. Mm-hmm. Bless Yahweh thy God always, and desire of him that thy ways may be directed.
What did that say?
It says, and desire of him that thy ways may be directed.
Right. So when we go to the Most High, we have to ask that the Most High, he's going to direct our path. Right now, he's going to allow us to stay on that straight and narrow and not stray off and really stay disciplined on that path. We have to come to the Most High and ask him that he's going to direct that. You know?
And that all thy paths and counsels may prosper.
Go on.
For every nation had not counsel.
What'd that say?
For every nation had not counsel.
Right, and we got to remember that, right? And really be grateful for the Most High that he gave us counsel. He gave us direction. He gave us instruction. Not every nation has that. That's why all these, they act in what? Hedonism. That's something we can't act like because the Most High, he gave us counsel. He gave us instruction. So what, read that one more time?
From the top?
No, for every
nation had not counsel.
Right, so we got to take advantage of that we have counsel, that we have instruction. Read on.
But the Lord himself giveth all things, it's like all good things, and he humbleth whom he will. As he will, now therefore, my son, remember my commandments.
Do what?
Remember my commandments.
Go on.
Neither let them be put out of thy mind.
Right, so that's part of discipline, is remembering the commandments of God and applying them. Whenever a situation comes up that you know it's a fork in the road, that's what discipline is choosing the right path that the Most High, he told you to choose. So we had to take advantage that we have counsel of the Most High and really be grateful for that, because we could be Esau. We could be damn Moab doing all these things and not even know that we're doing wrong. But we know what's wrong and right, so we have to discipline ourselves to stay on that straight and narrow path. What you got, King?
Can a brother go to Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 17? All praise to the Most High. So Most High willing, we brothers that's here and brothers and sisters that's watching at home, you take heed to really holding yourself in a better light, specifically you men. The Lord said, my voice is to the kings, roughly paraphrasing.
Proverbs 8:4.
Proverbs 8:4.
Yeah, it's something.
Right. Well, actually, I was probably mixing two precepts because you got Wisdom of Solomon 6:1 that says, "Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand, learn ye that be judges of the ends of the earth." But the point is, the Most High God, He's dealing with us being a nation that's in order, right? That's why He's giving us laws, like the brother said. We could have been Japhites with no laws and no order. They may have a level of structure in one way, but at the end of the day, those nations, their order is nothing compared to how the Most High God is going to show certain men to be and command them to be and put it in them to be, right? Because again, we'll be the judges over the earth. A judge, he has order. A judge has righteousness. He knows how to conduct himself, and he's going to lead and command it from everyone else underneath him as well. Bring us out, King.
Wisdom of Solomon 6:17. For the very true beginning of her is a desire of discipline.
Read this again from the top.
For the very true beginning of her is a desire of discipline.
So the beginning of wisdom is the desire of discipline. Let's read on. So again, you got a desire to put in that time. You're not going to be able to have certain breakdowns or know certain things in the scriptures if you're not going through the scriptures in your leisure. The Lord speaks about that in, I believe, Sirach, the 39th chapter, about studying the scriptures in a leisure. Right, read on, King.
And the care of discipline is love.
And the what?
And the care of discipline is love.
And the Lord said, and the care of discipline is love. And we know, we're going to tell you, but love is keeping the commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai. Read on, King.
And love is the keeping of our laws.
Right, read on.
And the giving heed unto our laws is an assurance of incorruption.
And incorruption is what? For you to not be defiled. Ultimately, it goes back to the spiritual bodies that you'll receive. You desiring discipline, that's going to show you that you have to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai. Right. You keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, that's going to allow you to be brought into a spiritual body because you believe. You did it through faith. You doing that through faith is going to be what? Now you're in a spiritual body and you're able to rule over these nations. You're not going to get to the last step if you ain't follow step A, B, C, and so on and so forth. There's an order to this thing. You got to transition your mind. You have to repent. Repent is not, okay, Lord, I sinned. No, you actually have to fully change. You got to be a different person. You got to be diligent. You have to be on fire. You got to move in a spirit that's worthy of that crown to be able to receive that crown. Don't just think the Lord going to pop a crown on your head. Where is that at in the Bible? All our forefathers, they were diligent in the Lord's work. Yeah, certain men, they had swords in their hands while they also had, while they was also doing the work to build up the walls in Nehemiah, the 4th chapter. From the rising of the stars, it said, right, or the rising of the sun to the stars appeared at night. Yahweh Shai rose up early in John, the 8th chapter, in the 2nd verse, to go, it says early in the morning, just to go teach in the temple. Then he stayed up long nights. So Yahweh Shai was diligent in his work, in his father's business, and we must finish the work. You can finish it out, King.
God. And incorruption maketh us near unto Yahweh.
Read on.
Therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom.
Therefore what?
Therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom.
The Lord said, you desiring wisdom, that's going to bring you to a kingdom.
Right.
Remember, we die without wisdom. We have no knowledge, the Lord said. So transitioning once again from that slave nigga mindset, putting off the old nigga, right, and becoming a spiritual king. And then the Most High will make you a king because you're changing your mind. Read on, King.
If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people. O ye kings of the people.
No, we just niggas.
O ye kings of the people.
Blacks and Hispanics.
O ye kings of the people.
O ye kings of the people, do what?
Honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore.
And with that, Most High willing was edified. Of course, we want to give all honor and all glory to Yahweh. By Hashem Mashiach Malak Yahushai. Again, Most High willing, you keep watching these last days. You watch over your spirit. You conduct yourself in a more orderly fashion in these coming days, right? And you be diligent, right? With that, this is Brother Kasadi from WFI JERSEY, Philly.
Yazara.
Brother Yatazamak.
Kwame Yasharala. Shalom.
Shalom.